This week on the Double T Insider, track and field season is officially here. The Double T Insider talks with senior long jump All-American Bryce Lamb about his Red Raider career inside our player profile. Kristy Curry has reached another milestone, and it is win number 300 of her career. Hear from the head coach, a current player, and a former player on this accomplishment. Also on the show, the Double T Insider takes a moment with Texas Tech men's tennis head coach Tim Siegel as he reflects on his coaching career at Texas Tech and what's ahead for the Red Raiders this season, and see if Chynna Brown can beat the clock inside our full timeout segment. That and more coming up next on the Double T Insider. Let's go! The Double T Insider is brought to you by the College of Media and Communications and is entirely produced by students of the college. Here's your Texas Tech trivia question of the week. Chris Walker became the first Texas Tech head coach to win a conference opener on the road in his first season since whom? A. Bob Knight, B. James Dickey, C. Del Morgan, or D. Gerald Myers? The answer to that question is coming up later on the show. Double T Insider is back after the break. Welcome into a brand new edition of the Double T Insider, everyone. I'm Joshua Cook, joined by Erica Taylor as we bring you another week of inside access into Texas Tech athletics. And this week, Erica, we jump right into the show.
That's right. Texas Tech track athletes are ready to start off the new season with a bang. Senior long jump All-American Bryce Lamb talks about his life as a Red Raider inside our player profile. All right, Double T Insider here, and we're doing a player profile with Bryce Lamb. All right. Talk about your accolades here. You had 2010 All-American Honorable Mention for long jump, 2011 All-American First Team Long Jump, Indoor and Outdoor, and 2012 All-American Second Team 4x1 Relay, and as well for the first jump. What other accolades are you looking to get this year?
This year's, I don't, really want to focus on, things like the All-American and stuff, but I mean, the things that I want to do are going to come, those things are going to come with it. I do want to be a national champion, and I do want to help our team become a national championship team or a trophy team. And we have some very good pieces to do that. So this year, I'm just looking to get out there and do better than these past 3 years, and really just help the team.
All right. You have some siblings on the track team as well, right?
I had two cousins. One graduated in this past August, and one just graduated in December. She still trains here, Taylor. So, they've been here for all 4 of my years here, and I was here for 3 of their years here. So, we've been here and we've been very close-knit. Even when we were younger, we ran on the same club track team since, 96. So,
How is it like competing with them?
It's good because they know me so well and I know them so well. So, be it a good day or a bad day, and we get out there and we can still get out there and have fun. And say they have a bad day or I have a bad day, they know just the thing to say to me, or I know just the thing to say to them to wake them up and get them back going for their next race or the next meet or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. And at what age did you start running track and knew that was your favorite sport?
It was tough. When I first started running track, I was 5, and that didn't start too well. I started in that first practice. I went out there and ran the first practice and everything. And by the time we're leaving, me and my siblings and my mom were walking back to the car, and I quit. I stopped that whole year. I might have went to practice, just because my siblings went to practice, but I didn't run track again for that whole year. And stupidly, I went back out the next year. But it hasn't treated me too bad since. I've been all over the world just because of track. I've traveled the country, going to Canada, going to Czech Republic, and looking to do some bigger things. So I can't complain too much about going back.
Awesome. You also have done the 55-meter dash, right? How does that help you with your long jump abilities?
The 55 is a major help. It's a short race, and it really requires somebody to be very technical, and it's the same thing I have to do on the runway as far as my approach. So doing the 55, doing the 100s, running the 4x1, that all just, helps me become more technical down the runway and, more speed down the runway. It never hurts.
And what's your favorite meals? What do you eat to get ready for track meet? You can't have fast foods.
It might sound weird, but I noticed that at the big meets, nationals, conference, regionals, whatever, the night before I load jump, I'll probably have a hamburger. It doesn't sound normal. You might hear an ethnic say pasta or something healthy or something with a lot of carbs, to load up with energy. But I'm like, if I'm going to go long jump, tomorrow night, I'm trying to go have a hamburger tonight. It's just something that I've done since I've gotten into college, and it hasn't really served me wrong yet.
What are you looking forward to this season?
This season, I'm looking forward to everything. I mean, we go to a lot of good meets, indoor and outdoor, and I'm really just looking forward to competing, not just with everybody out there, but with my teammates. I mean, some of my teammates that don't even long jump or triple jump, I mean, we still have friendly competition within each other just because that's how competitive we are. We got one of our high jumpers, Japorian, he'll talk smack to all the horizontal jumpers because he's a vertical jumper. He thinks, anybody who jumps horizontally is better than or vertically is better than horizontal jumpers. So, I mean, we have battles in between each other where, he might be high jumping, I might be long jumping, but, it's still a battle between us of who's going to do better, And it's not about, putting somebody down or anything like that. We're just challenging each other to become better and help the team more. So, I mean, if he has a bad day, if I have a bad day, we might, for 2 seconds, put him down, be like, oh, why you height, like you suck. But the next day, it's like, don't worry about it. It's only, the first meet indoor or it's only outdoor. Texas Relay is not national. It's better here than national. It's better here than regional. So, we always try to pick each other up and make sure everybody, got their head right for the next meet or the next jump. And it's just a good competition.
Best of wishes to you this season.
Thank you.
I'm Erica Taylor, and that was our player profile with Bryce Lamb.
Stay tuned. Coming up after the break, we tell you why the number 300 and the number 20 are so important to two different head coaches here at Texas Tech. But first, the Double T Insider takes a moment to remember a member of the Red Raider family that we lost this past week. Before retiring 6 months ago, Ron Dameron spent the past 33 years working here at Texas Tech and was considered by his peers to be one of the best event managers in the entire country. Ron Dameron passed away on Monday at the age of 71.
Texas Tech is on the rise, now a national research university, a growing campus steeped in tradition. 7 straight semesters of record enrollment. Wind research that's unrivaled in the world. The best trained and educated students for today's jobs. And to all this, we have just one thing to say, with pride, guns up.
Right here on their home turf, the Lady Raiders helped head coach Kristy Curry earn her 300th win on Wednesday night inside the United Spirit Arena, another milestone for Texas Tech women's basketball. But Coach Kristy Curry did not forget about her players from her coaching days at Purdue, as well as her former Lady Raiders.
And Kansas State looks like they'll let the Lady Raiders dribble this thing out. It's going to be a Texas Tech victory, and they're going to keep Kansas State right smack dab on the 50-point mark. And Kristy Curry has won number 300. The final score, Texas Tech 59 and Kansas State 50.
It's not about me. I'm just a small part. I've had a lot of amazing people around me, from my coaches to my players to the support staff to my secretaries to every single person that's been a part of my career, and I've just been blessed with some great opportunities and just tried to make the most of it. So it's, I'm just happy we got a win tonight. That's the most important thing.
And that's exactly what they did. Kansas State fell victim to the hard-nosed defense put on by the Lady Raiders, holding the Wildcats to a season low of 17 points in the first half while finishing with 50 points in total. On the offensive end for Texas Tech juniors, Jackie Patterson and Kelsey Baker led the team, scoring double figures with 14 points apiece. And for Baker, Baker getting the 300th win for Coach Curry was another proud moment for the Lady Raider program.
This whole team is a family, including Coach Curry and the coaching staff and the people that we surround ourselves with. So anytime somebody makes an accomplishment like that, it's a great feeling for the team, as well as Casey's 1,000 points, her 300th win. It's just a great feeling for the whole organization, whole program.
Many athletes over a 14-year tenure have played for Coach Curry, but the one person who has been on the court and on the sideline almost every step of the way is Texas Tech women's basketball assistant coach Sharika Wright. She played all 4 years under Coach Curry while at Purdue and is in her 7th season as part of Curry's staff at Texas Tech.
Well, first of all, you talk about the career of Kristy Curry. I just go back to that first time, I saw her sitting in my house, and you think about a lady that shouldn't probably be coaching. She looks like she can be my age at the time, but extremely hard worker, recruiter, very passionate about what she's doing. And that's one of the things that I admire so much about her, as far as how I want to follow in those footsteps, when I have the opportunity to be a coach later on down the line. She grinds it out every night, and her motto is that she's not going to let anybody outwork her. And that's exactly what she's done. And so, again, it is an honor for her. And I know she will never, ever talk about it because she's so humble. Actually did a little deal today, a Throwback Thursday pic with me and her. And so, we both laughed and said, gosh, we look young at that picture right there. And so to be a part of that now, again, there are not a lot of players that get to be with their coaches, and have a mentor. But again, I'm definitely excited and blessed to have an opportunity to be with her.
For the past 20 years, Tim Siegel has been at the helm of the Texas Tech men's tennis program, but now entering his final season at the helm of the program, Siegel reflects on his time at Texas Tech. Well, Coach, 20 years here at Texas Tech now, finally kind of coming to a halt here at the end. One more season. What's it like now that you think you're about to head into your final season as head coach of this program?
I haven't really talked about, or in my mind thought about retiring. As soon as the season's over, then I'll think more about the fact that it's going to be ending. But as far as I'm concerned, I've got a season right now to focus on, and new players and some experienced players. So my focus is really on the team and hopefully what we'll accomplish this year.
In your press conference, you mentioned that this season is going to be the season you're going to coach the hardest and you're going to give everything kind of that last hurrah. What does it mean to you that you have these new players and they get to experience this with you, one last chance to really take Tech tennis to the top again?
Well, listen, we've had great kids. I've been very lucky in who I've been recruiting. They're good kids, good academic as well. I think the most important thing for me is I'm going to work as hard as I've always worked, and I'm going to coach as hard as I've always coached. But ultimately, I want to finish up strong, but I really like to see the players, my 4 seniors, finish up as well as they can.
Talking about your family, your 3 young children that you do have, getting to spend more time with them after the season's over, not having to coach anymore. What's it going to be like after the season's over when you get to spend all that time with your family and really watch your children grow up after the season?
Well, there's really 2 main reasons why I decided to retire after 21 seasons, and one of them is certainly that I have 4 children. I have a 20-year-old, and then a 9, 7, and a 6-year-old, and I want to be around more often for them. They are the world to me, and I travel quite a bit. We're on the road 40 days this spring, and that's what makes it tough. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to retire. Also, it takes so much stress and pressure. I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I want to be successful. I want the team to be successful, and I think it's just time for me to move on. I'm not sure what's next, but I do know that I'll always be the biggest Texas Tech fan.
Out of all your time here at Texas Tech, what is your most memorable moment, the one moment you look back on and say that's the one top moment I remember from my Tech career?
It's hard for me to pinpoint one moment. I will say that the last home match last year, April 21st, I believe, when we beat Texas 4-3, came down to the last match, and to beat them at home in front of over 1,000 people, I'm not sure they can get much better than that. But also having Gonzalo and Ray make the finals of the NCAAs, that was also very special. But there's so many different teams that mean so much to me. One of my favorite teams was 2007, and we were only ranked 30 in the country, but had such a great group of kids that worked so hard. So it's not so much how highly ranked the team is that makes it memorable, but I'll remember every one of these years. But I'm not really into reflecting until we're finished. And the fact that I've got another semester to go, then after that, I'm sure I'll figure it out.
Final question, I know you kind of talked about not reflecting yet, but what are you going to miss the most? Is it going to be coming to the practice, coming to the office daily, getting the grind of just working up to that match of the day? What are you going to miss the most?
There's at least 3 or 4 things I'll miss the most. Number one, I'm almost 49 years old, and most intelligent 49-year-olds have a reason to quit. I love what I do. I love coming to work. I love coaching. So, but I just felt that it was time. But what I'm going to miss the most, just being around the players, being around these guys. I try to make an impact in their life outside of tennis as well and teach them what's important. So I'm going to miss that. I'm certainly going to miss game day, the day of a match where my stomach is churning and that kind of thing. But there's so many things I'm going to miss. I'm going to miss going to school every day and talking to other coaches, about their program. So there's a million things I want to miss, but at the same time, I'm not even thinking about that yet. I'm just focusing on first day of practice tomorrow.
Coming up next, we take a full timeout with another Lady Raider. And get ready to take some notes. A little later, we'll be back with what's ahead for Texas Tech athletics.
As we head to the break, here's the answer to the Texas Tech trivia question. Earlier we asked, Chris Walker became the first Texas Tech head coach to win a conference opener on the road in his first season since whom? The answer is C. Del Morgan. Morgan accomplished this in 1933. Morgan coached at Tech for 3 seasons, finishing with an overall record of 42-27. Be sure to watch every week to get the next Texas Tech trivia question. Double T Insider is back after this.
Texas Tech is on the rise. Now a national research university, a growing campus steeped in tradition. 7 straight semesters of record enrollment. Wind research that's unrivaled in the world. The best trained and educated students for today's jobs. And to all this, we have just one thing to say. With pride, guns up.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. We put another 60 seconds on the clock for Lady Raider Chynna Brown in this week's Full Timeout.
Double T Insider here, and we're taking a full timeout with Chynna Brown, a game where I give her 10 scenarios and she has to answer them to the best of her ability, all in 60 seconds. All right, Chynna, are you ready?
I believe so.
All right, 60 seconds on the clock, please. All right, if I had to eat the same food for the rest of my life, it would be?
French fries.
The first thing on my mind on a Monday morning is?
Money.
The name of my alter ego is?
Pass.
My teammates say I am?
I'm always swagged out.
My first job was?
I've never worked.
Between my cell phone, computer, and TV, I could go a whole month without?
Neither.
I would donate $1 million to?
I guess any charity or home. I guess home. I don't know. Pass.
I would give my last dollar to?
No one.
Coach Kristy's favorite saying on the court is?
It is what it is.
Sorry, Chynna, you went over 60 seconds. That's the game, but thank you so much for playing. I'm Erica Taylor, and we just took a full timeout with Chynna Brown.
With the show winding down, here's a preview of what's coming up for Texas Tech athletics.
This week in Lubbock, the men's tennis team begins their spring season with a 2 p.m. match against UT Pan American on Wednesday at the McLeod Tennis Center. On Friday and Saturday, the Texas Tech track and field teams host their second indoor meet of the spring.
At 1 p.m. on Saturday, the women's tennis team opens their spring season against Denver at the McLeod Tennis Center. Later, Lady Raider basketball is in action as they face Kansas. First tip is set for 7 p.m.
Well, that's a wrap for this week's show. Thanks for watching.
And also be sure to go like our Facebook page, search for Double T Insider, and never miss another episode.
For Joshua Cook, I'm Erica Taylor. Have a great week, everyone.